I am Iron Man.
Hello there.
Avengers!
All right, welcome back to Stars and Marvel. Today we are going to be. I honestly have no idea what episode we're on. We're somewhere in the 50s, but
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
We're not counting anymore. We made it to 50, and now we're just going with the flow. But no, today we're talking episodes 1 and 2 of the Acolyte, which is for those of you who may not know, you probably should be listening to this podcast, but it's the new Star Wars show on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and we have 2 episodes out. We're going to talk about the first 2 episodes. And I'm just going to go straight into I liked it. I liked it a lot. Brendan teased me with some critical reviews I'm excited to hear about because I already disagree apparently.
Yes.
But I overall thoughts and we'll get into just fully spoiling it in a second, but overall thoughts, I liked it, and I definitely think that's summarized in the fact that it is completely new.
Yeah.
There's thank God. You know what? I already read, and actually it was probably the new Rockstars video, let's be honest. But like I already saw that like Yoda's confirmed not gonna be in this, and I love that.
Oh wow.
Don't give me Yoda.
Don't give me the Skywalkers.
Don't give me like a baby Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
Like don't give me any of this shit. Like just I like that this is a brand new thing, and the Old Republic and the High Republic are stuff that I've always been interested in, but I've never read the books.
Yeah,
I hated those old games because they were like turn-based
RPG. I know.
So
what you
like
mean.
and I know there's diehard fans outside. Someone just like, oh, my heart. But like I'm just super excited for this because it's a timeline we've never explored on cinematically, and I actually also think it looks and is just really good as a Star Wars fan.
So far, it stays true to the look of Star Wars, the feel, even the beginning, like when the text was coming up explaining like what the show, when the show takes place and what it's going to be about and yada, yada, yada. It did the same Star Wars pan down through space to the planet, or I guess it was to a ship, wasn't I forget. I think it was.
First one was to the planet, right? Because
Yes. Yep.
They go to the bar.
The bar. Yep. The bar. Oh, also, did it say how many years? Because I think in the beginning it said so many years before
So it says 100 years before the Empire.
Okay, 100. I saw it and I didn't go back. I didn't know if it said 100 or 1,000.
So my understanding is like Phantom Menace is like give or take 20 years prior to the Empire, because you got to think about like Anakin growing up. Yeah. But I don't know, like that could just be an editing error. I don't know if it's supposed to be 100 years before Phantom Menace or 100 years before, I guess, the Revenge of... I think the idea is it's about 100 years before what we know.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was actually shocked by that. I thought it was going to be longer.
That's what I thought too. I thought it was going to be like 1,000.
I thought for some reason I had 500 in my head. Like, so probably like
maybe at one point
talked about how like
I'm sure at one point we saw something that was like it's going to be 700 years in the
which is a great point. I don't know when. Like I have the Disney timeline for Star Wars up, and I have no idea when the Old Republic takes place. Like 500 years, we might not be in the High Republic anymore. We might be in the Old Republic. So
I think this is like the Republic that we see, like a older version of the Republic we see in like Phantom Menace and stuff like that, isn't it? Like,
yeah. So my understanding of it is that what we're getting in Acolyte is peak Jedi in control, and we kind of get hints at that with like I forget if it's episode 1 or 2, but there's like some random bystanders or side characters that go like, oh, the Jedi are sanctioned on every planet and they have all control and they think it's peace and blah, 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 blah. Like, so the Jedi are at peak. There's just way more of them than they need. They're stationed on every planet. Like that's kind of crazy.
I didn't realize they had like because they're like, oh, we'll go to the Jedi Temple on whatever that planet was, Krylar or whatever they were, or Sylar, whatever. And I was like, there was more than one Jedi Temple. Like, I mean, I guess that makes sense because you go to the Jedi Temple with with Grogu, you go to the Jedi Temple with Luke and stuff like that. So, but I guess that never really clicked in my head that there was more than one Jedi Temple that was on. Like, I always thought it was the one on Coruscant.
And I think the only other one we've seen live action is the original temple in Last Jedi, right?
Yeah. Yep. And doesn't Grogu go to one when he's like sitting on the rock and meditating?
Oh, you're right. That is at a temple. Yeah. And that's they've definitely like offhandedly mentioned other temples too.
Yeah.
But we're now like exploring like the High Republic is why there's so many temples. Because that was literally them sanctioning them everywhere.
And it's funny too, because this show, I mean, I guess we've seen it in what was it? Not Obi-Wan. One of the other shows, or we saw it in the Clone Wars, but you kind of see how like the Jedi were like police slash like national, like, they were like guardians, but like they also like arrested people and stuff like that. So it's weird. You don't really see that in the trilogies.
Yeah, we've never had like again, I forget which episode it is. I just kind of one and two are together at this point.
Yeah.
But like we see a Jedi jail cell.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty funny, like concept.
And like they're like, we have a suspect in custody and stuff like that. And I was like, am I watching Law and Order or am I watching Star Wars right now? Yeah.
We have the Sith. Dun dun
dun dun. Coruscant, 5 p.m. But it's cool to see the Jedi doing their actual jobs, not just lightsaber dueling with Sith lords. Like it's cool to see them like what they did in the original Republic.
It's funny. I haven't read or heard anyone talk about this, but I'm glad you brought it up because that was something too. Like the idea. So I'm gonna go super nerd mode here, folks. But like in Phantom Menace, like one of the concepts Lucas wanted to try and get across that I don't think's actually brought very well is like, oh, like they haven't seen a Sith in 100 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't know how to react. And it's like, but Qui-Gon Jinn pulls out his lightsaber to handle shit like he's got no problems. Like
it's any other Tuesday. He's just
exactly. And it's like, and I love it. Don't I eat it up?
Yeah.
But like to me, that wasn't really well put in the sense of like the Sith haven't been there. And I think the Acolyte is already kind of doing that a little better because the Jedi don't use their lightsabers at every instance, as you pointed out. They are trained to not to. And the first time we see I forget her name, but Trinity from the Matrix pull her lightsaber out.
Yep.
As soon as she does, it's like shit's gotten serious because she's at like I don't know, I don't want to say her weakest, but she's getting concerned. It's clear
she's like her most vulnerable. Yeah.
Well, that's the word. And it's just kind of I think it's like I said, I think it's displaying better that these Jedi have not interacted with Sith in who knows how long.
Yeah.
And to them, their lightsabers feel more like threats than actual weapons, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy to think that they've have it. Like I think the thing in the beginning of the episode 1 said it's been like 100 years or a couple hundred years of peace between the Federation and whatever, or the not the Empire, the Republic and the surrounding galaxy. But it's just crazy to think that there was a time years and years ago where it was Sith and Jedi against each other, and then the Sith just disappeared for so long, and the Jedi were like, all right, cool, like we'll just keep peace. Like
they're just like, oh, we won, like we got this.
No, we don't have to worry about them anymore.
But yeah, I think it's something that's cool, that's well done, and I don't know. So what is the negative things that you're seeing?
So it's a lot of like a lot of complaints about like lore continuity. It's a lot of nerdy complaints.
But really? See, that's the thing I didn't expect. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's not true.
I think it's just more the people that were reading, I was just saying, was that
just fucking like shadow appears in my background, literally scaring the shit out of us.
It's just a bunch of people, like, I guess, complaining about the lore of the books, and I guess maybe there's video game, like a video game, or yeah, the RPGs, the ones you were talking about, that just don't follow the lore and the whatever bullshit, whatever. Who cares? Like, nobody. This is new. This is new to the like majority of Star Wars fans. So I feel like they shouldn't worry about lore with this stuff.
Yeah, I like. So are you? So it sounds like the Legends material is the thing that people are talking about.
I believe so. Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
Look, I get it, because I think a great example is my love for Force Unleashed. Like, I get. I would love if that was somehow made canon.
Yeah.
But I understand that is old continuity, and I'm not going to be angry at something for not being that.
Exactly.
And that's what, like, I don't know. I think that's crazy. I think this show is so well written and acted and directed so far. Like, this is so, it's good. It's just good looking.
That was one of the other reviews I was reading, like negative reviews, saying the acting was bad, which I was like, I don't really agree with. I think everybody's been good. I mean, they've had like their typical campy side characters, but they're usually just kids. Like, you're not gonna expect a kid to be Leonardo DiCaprio, like, and especially in a Star Wars show. Like,
yeah, I think the campiness we've seen is classic Star Wars.
Yeah,
like whether it's prequel Star Wars campiness or original trilogy campiness, it feels like it's kind of like someone saying, God, I hate the mini games in this game, and it's like that's half of the game. Like, in the series, there's always mini games. It's like you can't, like, that's hand in hand. Like, you can't like Star Wars but I hate the campiness. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
Exactly. Yeah, I know. It just doesn't. I think people are just not giving it a shot because they're like, this is new, this is dumb. Like, not everybody, but the negative reviews I saw. Also, which actor wise, the whole time I was watching, I forget his name. I don't remember any of their names, to be honest. Nope. But the Jedi Master that takes them on the journey to find the good.
Is it the guy from Squid Games?
Yes. The whole time I was like, I was looking at him and I was like, I know this guy. I'm going to figure it out without IMDb. I was like, I want to figure this out without looking it up. And I was watching him the whole time and I was like, Squid Game, that's who it is. And then I looked it up to make sure. And I was like, yep, that's him.
That's funny to me. Like, so that's actually, he is one of 3 characters' names I know. I know Osha, May, and his name is Sol. S-O-L. Okay. But I definitely did not know who he was without, because I think it's funny. He's got the, like, going back Qui-Gon Jinn, he's got like the Qui-Gon Jinn wig thing going on.
Yeah,
and it looks really good.
Yeah,
like, but yeah, did you see he learned English to play this role?
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
He did not know English at all. And I forget the exact timeline, but it was something like 2 months before acting, he started training himself every day to learn English.
Wow. That is dedication. I mean, hats off to that guy. That's dedication.
I was like,
he's really good.
Him, like, but also hats off to the production team to be like, we want you. Can you
learn? Yeah. Can you learn English in like 4 months?
And that's the other thing,
one
too.
One of the most confusing languages on planet Earth.
he doesn't sound like it's broken English at all. Like, he sounds very, like, coherent and very well spoken.
I just figured he was, he's a Korean actor, but I was like, oh, well, most of those Korean actors eventually transition, like, big Korean actors will transition over to American movies and films and stuff like that. I just assumed he, knew how to speak English, just,
Isn't
that's crazy that
maybe he'll speak some English in season 2 of Squid Games now, because I remember I remember there was random English scenes and you're like, whoa, and it's like, well, now that he knows English, maybe he'll be a part of this.
Yes, it'd be fun. But no, he's been really good, and I was really bummed, but I have a feeling they're going to bring her back in a flashback, or maybe she didn't die. I don't know. Carrie-Anne Moss from
see. I had 2 things written down. I have my notepad here, and I only brought myself to write 2 things down. One of them one of them is like theorizing stuff I'll get into later. But the other one was loved that someone got stabbed and died.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars stabbing people and they're finally dead again.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm sure she'll stay dead, and I'm sure they'll bring, because I feel like she's too big of an actor to not bring back.
She'll definitely be in at least a flashback.
Yeah, she's on like the posters and stuff, which that was like she's on the thing for like the banner for for so I was like, she's got to be in another episode or two at least. Like maybe she comes back as a Force ghost or something like that, or something along those lines. But I was like, she's too big of an actor to just have one scene.
I think it's very possible she's not dead. Yeah. I was like, damn, they killed her.
They killed someone.
All right.
With a knife. Yeah.
The knife.
They didn't do the whole. Yeah. They didn't do the whole, get sliced up by a lightsaber. You just got a scar on your face. You're fine.
they don't have back to tanks yet. That's all.
Yeah.
They can't go take a back to tank bath. It's too early. The back to tanks are invented 50 years ago, not 100 years ago.
Yeah.
No, but the shame of that was, to your point too, I really liked what we saw of her.
Yeah. She was the embodiment of what we've learned a Jedi. You know what I mean? Like that they don't use Force until it's absolutely necessary. Like when she was fighting with May, right? That's the evil one.
That was May. Yes. Yep.
She waited till the very last moment, like, all right, I got no other choice.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even know who to like compare her to, because I think Saul really compares to Qui-Gon very well.
Yeah. He
follows the order, but he's clearly got his own like things going on. But Trinity,
yeah.
I think she's just like almost a perfect embodiment of what Jedi should be. Like, look, I'm not saying she's Yoda, but like kind of on that like side. Like,
yeah.
Like kind of like in the one scene we saw of her, she felt pretty flawless as a Jedi.
She almost seems like what I would imagine Luke was like after Return of the Jedi. Like when he first started his school, very zen, very very aware of the whatever.
Like Mandalorian Luke, like that time.
There we go. I know. It's like I knew we've seen him like that, but yeah, that time period.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great comparison.
But no, so far, I mean, the storyline of this show has been what I expected, but also not. The twin thing threw me off.
So let's talk about the twin thing. Let's talk about the twins. So we see that, in the first episode, they play it for most of the episodes. Like, oh, she killed him. Oh, it wasn't her. Who is it? It's like,
really good. Yeah. That's what at first when she was acting so nonchalant, like I mean, I know we've seen psychopaths in movies before that like kill and then just go get ice cream and are cool, but she didn't seem like that type of person, and I was like, she's acting kind of, and then I was like, maybe she's like brainwashed or something, and then I was
that's actually I was leaning that way too, like maybe she didn't know, kind of I haven't watched it yet, but on oh shoot, what is it called? The Apple TV show. So something else. Where they like turn off their brains and like they control them and shit.
Oh yeah, I forget what you're talking. The one with Adam Scott, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. I forget. I don't know what's called. But yeah.
Severance.
That's I knew it was something like.
I was thinking something, but anyway, it is a twin. It's she has a twin.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Again, this feels very. I saw someone say like, "Oh, this is a young adult Star Wars show," and I'm okay with that. Star Wars is again, gotta have those like sobering moments, folks.
Yeah.
Star Wars actually for children originally, like crazy. I know. But, so like if this is a little like, all right, it's a little more on the obvious side with the story, but we've got this cool drama / action going on. Like I'm here for it. I'm okay with that. But I don't know. There's something going on, I think, that is a little bit sinister / I think there is something to the twins that we don't know yet.
Because I mean, this is jumping ahead to the end of episode 2, but when they're talking to each other, May doesn't realize Osha is alive, and Osha doesn't realize May is alive. So something
Right.
happened there. You know, like something clearly is fishy there.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's brainwashing. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's just lying, but like I also the Force Ghost thing that's happening right now. Osha seeing
Oh
Osha
yeah, like
seeing May
the
as a
younger.
child and like I guess they're visions. It's not,
I'm I'm
but like
thinking that's maybe the whoever May's master is kind of like pulling like a Ben like a Kylo Ren and like getting in her head. You know what I mean? Like how they like.
okay,
And I know they
got a
they
little
might. Is it a
little Harry
dyad in the
Potter and
Force?
Voldemort head action going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
That
Little.
see, I like that a lot. But yeah, no, I like that a lot. That's I definitely there's definitely some strings being pulled, and
Yeah.
we've only seen May's master, I guess we'll call him or her, whatever. We've only seen May's master, the one scene in the first episode, and what's in the trailer. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how much of that I saw people theorizing, like so he's a Sith,
Yeah.
but is he
But
the
who
master or is he the
is he?
apprentice?
Yeah. I mean, could be pulling like a Dooku situation.
Exactly. Exactly. Is this the master trying to establish his new apprentice, or is this the apprentice trying to overthrow his master?
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, that'd be some pretty cool shit.
Yeah.
I hope we get some Sith point of view.
That would be that's what I was hoping the show eventually leads to is like a more Sith like you're spending more time with the Sith than you
Yeah.
are the Jedi. We'll see. We'll see.
I hope it's not secret stuff the whole time. Like I hope
Yeah.
we do get maybe like oh, I just looked it up. I think it's 8 episodes. So maybe like after episode 4, they finally give us a Sith reveal
We
and then
know
we'll
who it
spend
is.
more
Yeah.
time with them. Like I don't want it to be look, whatever, it is what it is. But like it would be cool if it's like you said, more Sith oriented
So yeah.
time. So the one thing that I feel like this is my crazy theory that I hope happens that actually isn't that crazy. I'm just kind of curious and would love to see it. Uh we never really have seen in live action Star Wars. We see it in Clone Wars and I guess in Rebels probably. But we've never really seen construction, deconstruction kind of thing of lightsabers. Like I guess
That
we
would
saw it in
be.
Ahsoka actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like at the end when Ezra's making his new
Oh
one.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
like I'm talking old school like because like in the original Return of the Jedi concept art, one of the things George Lucas wanted to do, and I think he just couldn't figure out how to do it cinematically, was like he wanted to show Luke construct the lightsaber using the
Mm.
Force. Um, and he couldn't do it, didn't do it, whatever. I think we might be alluding to not just the construction of a lightsaber, but the creation of a Sith crystal. And
That
for
would be cool to
anyone that
see
doesn't
live action.
know, that's
Yeah.
so in new Star Wars canon, the Sith crystals again, I think I've talked about it, but the Star Wars Darth Vader comics are awesome. And in the comics,
Yes.
you find out that Sith crystals are created by a Sith trainee has to kill a Jedi, steal their lightsaber crystal, and then they put all their hatred and anger into the crystal, and it bleeds,
Yep.
and the crystal turns red. I so we've seen May had to get it right. We've seen May fight 2 Jedi, and every time she goes for the lightsaber on their hill.
So maybe
The
that's what
big
we're.
I think the big thing I hope what I'm hoping to say is that we see her get a lightsaber and create a red crystal because that would just be so cool.
Oh yeah, and what I'm thinking too to go along with that is, remember how he keeps saying like you need to kill a Jedi without weapons. Maybe that could be, uh, not misconstrued, but like also taken as you can't kill them with your weapons. So maybe she like takes the lightsaber, kills them with their lightsaber, and then needs the
Exactly, dude.
crystal.
That's
Yeah,
I think that's and actually to like kind of mirror what we've seen already. If anyone hasn't watched it yet, I actually forget if you have, but Tales of the Jedi, which was kind of like a mini
yeah,
Clone
yep.
Wars sequel.
Mhm.
Um, we see how Ahsoka gets the lightsaber crystals that she heals that turns white. Because again,
it's from the Inquisitor, right?
Right. There's an Inquisitor that chases her on a planet, and she kills him and takes his lightsaber. And then we know those 2 crystals she gets, she turns white for her Mandalorian crystals. Well, she kills him in unarmed combat and disarms him and then kills him with his own lightsaber. Literally, like I'm talking about a mirrored situation here, but like the creation of a Sith version rather than healing. And I do.
That's gonna be so cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. Speaking of which, real quick, just a sidebar. Did you know
that was pretty much all I had. But
did you know for the Tales of the Jedi? Did you know they came out with the Tales of the Empire?
I did. I actually watched that.
I haven't watched it yet, but I was scrolling through trying to find something to watch the other day, and I saw that was on there. I was like, oh wow, they came out, like, because I was thinking a while back, I'm like, they should do like a Sith version. Like that would be cool to see.
It's good, not great. It's not as good. Tales of the Jedi, I thought was fantastic. I mean, you have the Count Dooku backstory, and then more Ahsoka, which who doesn't love Ahsoka at this point? But Tales of the Empire,
because it was Barriss Offee or was it Barriss Offee was the one storyline.
Yep.
And then wasn't what's her name?
Morgan Elizabeth.
That's who it was. Yeah, I was thinking it was Dooku's other apprentice.
And the Barriss stuff I think is very good. The Morgan Elizabeth stuff I think falls a little short.
Well, yeah, she's kind of a boring character, anyways.
Yeah, and I kind of expected a little more like, I think she's a decent enough villain in Mandalorian / Ahsoka, but like I was like, okay, I'll take some backstory on Morgan Elizabeth, and I think Tales of the Empire doesn't really deliver well on that. It's like, oh, I could have like just kept on assuming most of this, like but I actually really like the Barriss Offee stuff. I there's definitely things in both, but I just overall Tales of the Jedi I think was a lot better. Tales of the Jedi rocks.
The Dooku ones were heartbreaking. Those were so like good. Such good episodes, but so like it makes you feel for Dooku. Like you're like, he really wasn't that bad of a guy.
Well, it reminds you that like that is almost a tease of what we keep saying we want, which is like the Sith aren't just pure evil. It's God damn it, it's a point of view.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, definitely worth watching though. Tales of the Empire, I would say that.
I'll put that on my queue.
Yeah, it's a good while you're working thing to have on. I'd say.
Okay, I was like a good while you're working, one where you can like sort of pay attention, but
yeah. It's not nothing that happens in that is too groundbreaking that you're like, no,
what? Yeah,
but like it's a perfect like, oh look, Star Wars is on.
Yeah. Trying to think of other things from these past 2 episodes that like stood out.
I don't know if this is the conspiracy theorist in me. I like the friend Jedi who's a new Jedi Knight. I want to say like Yadu or Yada or
the like
younger
alien
guy.
Oh, the guy with I call that haircut is like the one of the default haircuts in like a video game. Like
I forget what meme it was, but it was like when studios don't know what hairstyle to give a black person, they give them this hairstyle, and it was Miles Morales from the new Spider-Man game has that haircut.
Yeah.
Someone else has that haircut. We just watched Jurassic Park Chaos Theory on Netflix, and they gave the young black character the same haircut.
What's his name? Darius or
Darius?
Yeah. Ollie watched the show. We were watching it.
Oh, we love that show.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
It's the whole thing in 2 days.
We watched the original show with him. Like he was like, I want to watch the Jurassic Park cartoon. We're like, all right. So we put it on. And I was like, it's actually pretty good. Like I was like following the storyline. I was like, wait, what happened to Brooklyn? What did she do?
Love it. Yeah, I thought Chaos Theory was pretty good. I don't know if did you finish it?
I did. I caught bits and pieces of it. He was watching it like while we were doing stuff around the house, but from what I saw of it, it was good.
Pretty good. I at one point there was a lot of deaths in Chaos Theory, and I was like, another off-screen death, and Valerie's like, yeah, Zach, it's a cartoon for children. Yeah. I was like, damn it, give me the blood.
Yeah, I want to see the gore.
but the jokes aside about the haircut and all that,
Yeah,
that guy, I think he's a fun character, but I'm almost getting vibes, and I'm curious if you agree or not. I'm almost getting the so stupid it's a ruse vibes.
he's in on it type of thing.
Yes. Like I'm
I can
not
see that.
saying he's the Sith, but like kind of like there's more to
Oh,
him than we
than what
know.
we see.
Because
Yeah,
like right now he's just like the dumb jock,
yeah.
right? Like that's really his role. And like maybe that's it.
Maybe
I don't
that's
but
it's just who
but
he is. Yeah.
the moment I actually got a little conspiracy theorist about it was him being smart enough to follow what's her name? Osha, the
Oh
good
yeah, yeah.
twin.
Down, yep.
When he's like he shows up with the like cross Jedi robe look, like the arm when
She
they
didn't
hide
do
it in the
anything.
sleeves,
Yeah.
like what the hell are you doing? But like he shows up doing that whole thing, and he's like, I followed her. She did nothing. She
Yeah.
showed up like, and it's like I was like, you are way smarter sounding right now than you typically are,
Mhm.
and I feel a little fishy about that.
Yeah.
So
I like that theory that he could possibly be, behind the scenes being the Sith, probably apprentice, but
that's what if he was related to the Sith somehow, I could see him being the apprentice. I also I just think there's something more to him than he's just a blind Jedi Knight. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's the Sith, but I think there's something to him we don't know.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I get a little bit of fishy vibes from him. That's all.
We'll keep
But
an eye.
but
I forget his
otherwise,
name, but we'll keep an eye on him this
yeah,
season.
yeah, I do like the character. I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's got a good look to him, and oh, but that's actually I teased this on my Twitter. I said I had one negative thing about the whole show. And I don't know if this is on purpose because they're trying to change the look because it's the High Republic. But my only gripe with this show, and it's so minor, like it's not a real gripe, but like I feel like the costume design looks a little cheap.
Yeah. It looks a little
Like like
like
almost a
YouTube series.
smidge
Yeah.
too cheap. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like just noticeable.
Yeah. It looks a
Like
little. Almost looks a little too new for it to be like the clothes look a little too like not worn in. Like it looks like they
right.
just bought them. Like
And they even make the joke that like the guy we were just talking about, like he's steaming his robes on the ship
yeah, yeah.
while like the episode is happening. So like maybe that's supposed and again, that's what I was trying to say was like that might be what they're going for,
Maybe
but
they're
it
like
is a little
more.
off-putting.
Yeah, yeah. It is weird. It's not what we've seen. I mean, other than maybe like the upper class in Star Wars, we've never really seen people wearing nice things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
even the
no,
Jedi
yeah.
wore like really long, baggy, like half the time ripped up robes and stuff. So
Oh, speaking of ripped up robes, another Star Wars tangent, real quick. Over the weekend, I rewatched, and I gotta say, I don't know if I've ever watched it fully like this before, but I put on the 2D animated Clone Wars cartoon.
I've been wanting to watch that.
Oh my god, it holds up so well. It's
Good.
only 2 hours. Like the whole
Oh,
show was
huh. They're
it's
like 10-minute
volume.
episodes or something.
Yeah, so the episodes were like less than 10 minutes. I think they were like 5 to 8 minutes each. And so like every episode is put as one giant thing.
Huh.
And it's just a great coherent story.
Was
Grievous
that
is terrifying. It's
was
it's awesome.
was that an Adult Swim
Hmm.
one? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to watch that. I think I put on an episode a while ago, and I was like working, and I was like, I'm not really paying attention. I want to pay attention to this, so
That
but I just
that's
never I
I
just
was gonna
never
make
got
that
into it.
joke,
Yeah.
dude. It's I actually put it on to have as background noise, but I got so enthralled, I turned it off and then I put it on as like my end of the day like
Like
TV.
your
I
wind
was
down. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like hyped about it. It's wild.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out too. Is that
Uh
on Disney Plus?
yeah, it's
Okay.
in Disney Plus now has like a Legends category at the bottom,
Ah,
kind of like the X-Men category was for Marvel for a
yeah.
while. It's down there and it's
Nice.
it's I think
It's
it
good.
holds up. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Uh yeah, but like that's my like I said, that's the only gripe I think I like and that's the funny thing too is I love the newness and the difference and if you're gonna tell me that the look is super clean looking because it's the High Republic, I can like make that mental jump. Like it's
Yeah.
just I think it's just like it's so different looking in attire that it jumps out at me.
Yeah.
I otherwise I think it's cool. I mean, how did you feel about the guy we keep talking about with the guy with no name having the yellow lightsaber?
That was a cool touch. I do like seeing that. Because I mean that I feel like that I don't know a lot of that era of
Yeah,
Star Wars, but every time I've seen like a cover of a book or something from the video game, there's usually someone with a yellow lightsaber. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool to see that in live action, other than being Rey. So
for 2 seconds.
yeah.
That's I agree.
Couldn't have given it to her for the whole fucking movie. They had to give it to her for 2 seconds.
Look, I rewatched Rise of Skywalker recently, and that was literally what came out of my mouth as soon as I was like, oh, in every fucking trilogy of Star Wars, they break the lightsaber in the second movie and they get a new one in the third one. Why wouldn't they give it to her for the whole movie? Beats me.
Yeah. So many missed opportunities. But no, I enjoyed it. I'm glad, and I hope we see more. I mean, I hope we see a couple more yellow.
Well, and that's pop out. The trailer I rewatched today too after watching the 2 episodes because I was like, oh, how much have we not seen yet? And it's funny. I feel like most of what the trailer showed that we haven't seen was there's like an army of lightsabers at one point. Like we're gonna get some lightsaber action. Yeah. And I'm excited about that. Like, I like that the lightsaber is pretty like closed off right now.
I feel like they use it. They only really use it when they absolutely need it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like so far, we've only really seen Carrie-Anne Moss's character use it for that 1 second, and then the jock guy, whatever his name is, the hair guy. He's pulled it out a couple times, but I feel like that's because he's like a newbie. He's a new guy. He's a little jumpy. He's a little
exactly. Like, he's like a little trigger happy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what we haven't seen. Soul's lightsaber, I don't think yet, have we?
I don't think so.
The Squid Games guy.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, it's on the banner. I think that it's a blue one. Yeah, because Trinity has a green one. I'm pretty sure on the banner he has a blue one, but I don't think he pulled it out in the episode. Because
I don't think so.
That was a pretty cool fight too. I thought that was very reminiscent. So him versus May.
Yeah,
like calling it a fight, but that felt very reminiscent to me of like Vader versus Reva. Like he's so over her power.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. Like he doesn't need to actually do anything.
And it's also just cool seeing the Jedi fight hand to hand. Like you don't really see that much, other than like Obi-Wan and Anakin fight for a little bit hand to hand. No, they fight for a little bit hand to hand during their big duel.
Oh yeah. There's one point where like I think it's Anakin just lands a freaking punch in Obi-Wan's mouth in episode 3.
but like we never really see them do like too much hand-to-hand combat. And they'd be amazing at it if they have control over the force. Like if they have deep control over the force, they could just predict everything that's going to happen. And
it's also I think I was thinking about this when I was rewatching the 2D Clone Wars, but I forget because you and I grew up on the prequels.
Yeah,
like we always think of the Jedi as generals, as these army men.
That's true. Yeah,
and like in the High Republic, they wouldn't be trigger happy generals. They would be like these calm, peacekeeping, we'll call them police force kind of people. And that's what like they're not just jumping to using their lightsaber because someone in the street is angry at them. They are instead passively fighting them with their bare knuckle fists.
Yeah. I feel like they're like the High Republic and Old Republic Jedi were like British police officers, like very polite, Japanese police officers. They have like whistles and stuff like that. They don't use gun, and then they only use force if necessary. And then like the Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, like that version of Jedi, or like America's cops, they're just like, he got a gun. Like,
it's the Sunny level bad. Yeah. They gave me this car. He's got a gun. Train, not car. Damn it.
But still, like it's 1000% like the difference between the Jedi in the Old Republic or higher, whatever, the older Jedi versus the newer before they collapsed. And it shows because that's why they collapsed, because they were
correct.
Sorry,
I think No. I was just kind of going to emphasize. I think that is a great summary of how I feel about the show based off of the first two episodes, is it feels like Star Wars very much. Like I just think in general, it feels like Star Wars, feels very old trilogy, original trilogy to me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I also think it's different enough that I believe this is a different era of Jedi. Like
Oh yeah.
I truly do think it's doing a good job of distinguishing itself, and I just really like that.
Yeah, it's doing a good job of explaining a lot, but not explaining at the same. Like, there's not a ton of um exposition for a lot of this stuff,
Yeah.
other than the storyline with like May and everything. But
And
they're not, which wasn't too much because we still don't know exactly what happened. We know some sort of fire happened, their entire family died, and I guess they both thought they each respective sibling thought the other sibling died.
and that was going to be my follow-up there, was like, just from like an entertainment point of view, they keep teasing on what happened at this fire, and I
Yeah.
gotta say, I'm kind of interested what the hell
And
happened with this fire.
And I guess all that's why she's hunting the Jedi, because I guess these five or six that she's hunting are responsible for the fire or death. So like, were they doing some crazy illegal Jedi shit out in wherever they
That's
were, or
and
was it just a big misunderstanding? And
because some episode two really pulled my interest in there, and I think they did it a great way, because she goes and she kills Trinity, and Soul is like, okay, like something bad's going on, and you're like,
yeah,
okay, maybe like May is just angry because she wasn't saved. The fire happened, she wasn't saved, blah blah blah. The third Jedi, the bearded guy who's like
the
not
meditating,
teleport,
yeah,
the meditating guy who
mhm,
who willingly kills himself and apologizes.
yeah.
That's the moment you're like,
When
oh,
with
what
taking
the hell
10,
happened?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, like something happened here that they're
yeah.
all, and like even Soul kind of had like a concerned look on his face when he
Mm.
saw May, like, oh shit, you're like like kind of like,
Yeah, he's got
oh
secrets. He's
yeah,
he's definitely got secrets.
yeah. So I'm anxious to, this is getting me more excited now to see what's going to be going on. But I really have been enjoying, I've really been enjoying this show. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, like storyline wise.
No,
But
not yet anyway.
I'm enjoying. Yeah, I see. I thought the show, the original description was a Jedi is, shown a different path after something happens. And I was like, oh, well, maybe it's going to be someone in the Jedi Order that has rage or has whatever, is mad about something, and just kind of drifts away and ends up joining the Sith. But it seems like that. I guess they were. I guess one. I'm guessing, like theorizing, one. Osha was taken by the Jedi, and May was taken by the Sith at the fire. So
I also not convinced Osha's gonna stay good.
yeah,
Just
maybe
saying.
she'll
Like, she let
join the
May
sister.
go.
Yeah, very true, very true.
So she could still turn. Like, that's the I don't know. I also could see like we could have some switcheroo shit happening, because Osha's not able to use the Force in this so far. We've seen
Yeah,
that she struggled to use the Force, but May can use the Force. Sure, as of right now, we think May was trained by the Sith. What if May was actually the one trained by the Jedi, and I, I
and
don't
they
know, maybe she
and
did go to
she,
the Sith, and
so
Osha
maybe that,
is
yeah.
brain wiped, kind of in a way that she doesn't know what happened, and she never was on either side.
Because they do sort of like subtly mention the brainwave thing when that guy gets caught. He's like, hey, don't, like, don't clear my memory or whatever,
Yup.
So,
And we've never seen someone's memories erased, but it makes sense that if you can like mind control someone, you can
yeah,
have
yeah,
them
you can
forget
you
something.
can Men in
Yeah.
Black them. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can bet. You can. We're gonna 3 minutes.
But no, I'm enjoying the show more than I thought I was going. I knew I was going to enjoy it, but I thought it was going to be like all right, let's watch this episode. Like, let's not like let's get it over with, but let's get it over type thing.
Sounds
So
a little like a She-Hulk kind of mentality. Like,
yes, yes.
I
But I've been enjoying it. Yeah, I think it's
agree.
it's every Tuesday it comes out.
It's
Wednesday.
every wait. What is today? Today's
Thursday.
Thursday. Oh, was it Tuesday?
Is it
Dude, I don't
Tuesdays?
know. This week's like not
I've
real.
been way off this week too.
Mm-hmm.
I keep on thinking today's Wednesday.
Hey,
Um,
yeah. Today was I can't believe tomorrow's Friday. I think that's the best way to put it.
Oh,
Like
that
I'm
is good
like,
news.
yeah. That's yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for episode 3. I don't yeah. I
Should
also I think it's something else I noticed real quick,
Mhm.
but both episodes have 2 titles. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice the first one. The second one was like Revenge and Justice or something like that.
And
I
I'm
didn't see the first.
curious
I didn't read the
what
first one.
that pattern is for, but I'm assuming as of right now it's one title is May's story and one title is Osha's
I
story.
like that. I like
But
that.
I
Yeah.
it's very interesting. I just think there's some like again, I'm okay with this just being young adult fiction. Like you can
Yeah.
call it coming and it's obvious. That's fine. But
Yeah.
I think there is something under the behind the current. We just
Something's gonna reveal itself and be an oh shit moment. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
do you think they're gonna pull any like name drops when the Sith reveals himself?
Star
Or
Killer for sure
yeah,
this time. No, I so
because I mean I don't really know other than like Darth Bane and Revan and all that, but I don't think they're around at this point because they were
I don't
around when
I
like
think
the
they're Old
Sith
Republic.
were. Yeah, I was gonna say they were around when the Sith were like an army. Like
So 100 years ago, I think if anything, and I'm not convinced we get him. I saw this theory, but I'm the only name drop I think that's possible is Darth Plagueis.
okay,
I
I just realized too we could if they're talking Plagueis we could get Plagueis's master as well.
who's Plagueis'
Um,
master?
Tenebrous, I think was his name. He's in the
Okay.
beginning of the book. He's the same race or the same species, whatever like Star Wars word. Of the people that sing the
Really?
those
The
like
aliens?
yeah,
Oh wow.
the ones that have the flute. Yeah, he's the same race as them.
That's one of my favorite Family Guy. It's they show the jazz aliens and they're like, thank you guys so much for listening. Any requests for what's next? Play that same song. You
Yeah,
got it.
you got oh, that's good.
But yeah, no, that would be cool because I did not know that, and that would be a wild like seeing that alien as a Sith would be pretty
Would be
cool.
yeah.
I think again, I didn't know that name. I think those 2 names though are the only like as soon as I heard Yoda's not in this show,
Yeah.
no Jedi could possibly be in this. Like
Ooh, no.
it's definitely gonna be do we get Plagueis or his master?
That I mean, it would be cool to get Plagueis though. I feel like that would be the coolest, even on screen, because he was a Mun. We see them briefly in I think episode 3. They're the ones that control the like pretty much the bank, like the federal bank.
Oh,
And they're like really
the
tall, really long
yeah,
necked,
yeah.
like ones, and that would be cool to see. As a like I said, they seem
The
pretty
banking
intimidating.
clan
Yes,
supports
yeah,
your decisions.
yeah.
I think that's episode 2, Attack of the Clones, when they're
Oh,
having
maybe that's it. Yeah, yeah.
they're having that meeting, and he's like,
With the
and then he probably gets
Genosians
murdered
or
by
whatever.
Anakin in episode
Yeah,
3.
gets that big ass neck cut off. One thing I know. I just had it in my head and I lost it. Um,
So can I just, while you're thinking,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if they remain true to the lore, then fun hair guy whose name we don't remember can't be the Sith because he's neither of those races. If it's
If
Plagueis
it's
master.
true, true, but it could be like it could be if Plagueis is the oh no, I guess that wouldn't make sense because that would be a quadruple or a trip. Because I was like, oh, if Tenebrous is in it and Plagueis is in it, then maybe he could be Plagueis's apprentice, and then this guy could be getting his apprentice to kill. But that would be way too much, way
But
too
I
much Sith
also
math going on.
like I'm okay with it not like let's say he is a Sith. Like
Yeah,
it's that dude, right? And it's the old switcheroo. I'm okay with it not being Plagueis or
yeah. Oh
Tannenbaum
yeah, if
thing
it's just
guy.
some random dude, if it's
Because in my
Darth
head,
Paperclip, like,
the Sith are like, I don't know, they're rotating every 10 years. They're just
yeah.
murdering the shit out of each other. They're like, we've almost come to power. You know what? Fuck you, master.
Yeah,
Starting over.
and redoing it. Yeah, no, they were just a bunch of backstabbers, basically. Like,
right. So
they were
that's
doomed to fail from the beginning.
Did you
I completely forget. It was something. It was something about one of the alien species that was in one of the episodes, but I forget which one. It was in the beginning. Oh, I just had it. Now it's gone.
is it the weird looking apprentice to the hair guy?
No, but that was one. I think we've seen one of those in the one of like the species in the one of the video games because that species looks familiar. Or
It was in Clone Wars. I saw in the new
okay, oh,
Rockstars
Clone Wars.
video.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget what I was gonna say. We can move past that.
I also on the sense though of that, I think the props, the realistic what is the word for that? Not CGI. The opposite of CGI. What
Oh,
is
like the
realist?
special effects
Yeah, sure.
or
Practical.
practical
The
effects. There
practical
we go.
effects are very good in this, and I think this visually feels like the best Star Wars has looked from Disney.
Yeah,
Like not too much CGI, not too much or too little practical. Like it
not that
feels
it
like
makes it
the
look fake.
perfect
Yeah,
blend.
yeah.
Like truly, like it's not one or the other. And I just visually think it looked really good, and I applaud that.
Yeah. Yeah, all in all, so far, I mean, I give it 4 stars. I won't give it a full five. I'll give it a 4 star
I think
rating
that's
right now.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just I don't know. I 4 out of 5 sounds good to me. Like so far, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know enough to criticize it. I don't dislike anything practically at all right now. Um,
It's been
yeah,
enjoyable to watch. It's kept my attention the whole time. I'm excited to see what happens in the future of the show. It's good to know there's 8 episodes. I feel like that's a standard with the Star Wars shows, 8 episodes,
yeah,
which kind
that's
of
I couldn't
sucks.
remember what they usually are.
But
6 or 8, yeah.
I feel like that sucks because it's like you could do so much more with 10, but also you could fuck it up a lot more with 10 and have like shitty filler episodes and stuff, which this show does not seem like it's gonna have.
I was gonna say we haven't said this, but like it also felt like a good show.
Yeah.
Like it didn't like. I mean, hey, we've got 6 more episodes. There could be a filler episode, but it just felt like it was already paced very well, and like a show that was going to be paced well.
And I think they could even pull off a filler episode without us even knowing because we don't know these characters. You know what I mean?
True,
Like that was the
true.
whole thing with the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and stuff like that. Is we knew, or at least like regular Star Wars fans that have watched everything know those characters and are attached to those characters. And then when you spend time off on another planet with Lizzo and Jack Black, you're like, I don't want to do this right now. Like like
Poor Jack Black,
poor
man. He's
Jack. I
never
mean,
gonna hear the end
no
of that
offense to
one.
Jack Black and Lizzo, it's not their fault.
Never gonna hear the end of
Kind
that
of
one.
kind of a fuck you to Lizzo. I mean, everybody hates her now, but um, nothing against them. It's not their fault. Like they were just cast in the show, but it was just stupid on the creators or the writers' parts.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't rewatched Mandalorian season 3, but the filler episodes in season 3 was a huge
They
miss.
were, yeah, yeah.
Huge miss that we had any. Yeah, absolutely.
But no,
Hey,
I mean they could do a filler episode, like I said, and we probably wouldn't even know it's a filler episode because these are brand new, characters to us, which is
yeah, like I
nice.
feel like a filler would be just kind of learning more about how the High Republic operates. Like
Yeah,
it's
which
not
would
going to be
be
it's not going to be
interesting. Yeah,
yeah, it's not that it's going to be impacting on the story, but it's just like, oh, here's a little behind the scenes on what, happens and
yeah.
how the droids react and blah 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 blah.
Here's the Jedi holding cell, and here's the intake room. Here's where they get their digital fingerprints. Or
All right, everyone follow the red flag, follow the red
yeah,
flag. Keep up, keep up, keep up. Jedi tour. Let's go.
they do like an office style episode. They're all getting they like cuts to like interviews. That'd be pretty
It
good.
shows Saul and Qui-Gon Jinn. They're the same person.
They're the same, yeah.
They're the same picture.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, I look forward to next week.
Yeah, you got anything else?
No, no,
Yeah.
I don't. I am. I think my hopes are pretty well like maintained.
Yeah.
Maybe see how a red crystal is made is all I want. And you know what? If I don't see it, I'm not going to be surprised.
Maybe we'll get it in season 2. You never know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, it's been a good show so far. Like we both said, it's been enjoyable. It's caught our attention. It doesn't seem to have caught everybody's attention, but hey, to each their own. We've been enjoying it. So if you're, even if you're a casual Star Wars fan, I think this would be a show for you because you don't really need to know everything and everybody because it's brand new to everybody. So it's,
there's a lot of times where people who like Star Wars but not are nerds. It's like, oh, well, wait, when does this take place? What is this between? Like, it's like, no, nothing. You don't need to know anything.
You don't. Yeah, the Skywalker.
You know what lightsabers are? Now. You're good.
Yeah. You know they can use the powers to make shit levitate. You're good.
You don't? All right, you got at least 3 movies to watch.
Yeah,
but really 6 to 9,
and then maybe a couple shows. But then you'll be covered.
But then you're good.
You need about nine seasons of Clone Wars, or 7 seasons of Clone Wars, and then you're good. 3 of them which are for children, and then you're good.
and then it gets better, and you'll like it, and then you can. Oh, you walked out on me? Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Well, there's 2 more cartoons you need to watch anyway. So.
Oh God, that's so it's so funny. It's so true.
It's sad but true. Yeah,
it's very true.
It's like you want to get caught up on all the Star Wars lore, you need to watch at least 3 full series cartoons.
It's funny how like I don't know if I'd say it's surpassed it, but it is Marvel-esque now. Like it is like we're at that point.
Yeah,
like,
where there's a lot of stuff you need to catch up on if you want to be fully aware of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. We'll be more than likely doing weekly episodes for each Acolyte drop. So probably late in the week we'll drop the episode. But yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
See you.